and a press person.
Hello, this is Deb.
Hey Deb, how you doing? This is Nighthawk.
Hey, Nighthawk, how are you?
Oh, not too bad. Actually, I'm doing a short show called The Strange Case of Pete and why the hell they are keeping somebody in the press in freaking jail. I'm getting every day. I almost hopped up at 3 in the morning and did a video on this just because I'm so pissed off about it. But do you
You're
have
not
any?
the only one. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. Do we have any updates? Yeah, I wanted to bring
We
you.
do have updates.
All right. Yeah, I wanted to bring you in when I have no callers because if I bring you in when I got callers, everybody wants to talk. So it's just being you. So.
When, right now? Am I in the air right now?
Yeah, you're on the air with me right now.
Okay.
Yeah, just doing our daily update.
I'm on the air. Okay, you guys. So listen, Nighthawk. Here's the story. We're determined to fight this. We're determined to fight. There is a message from Pete Santilli and and his attorney, and from me, and that is for everybody to stay calm. We are allowed to protest. We are allowed to speak, and we encourage everyone to speak in Pete's defense and his support. But what we don't want is for people, we ask people to please show restraint and not to do anything at all or say anything at all that may be perceived as threatening. And that's not only just for Pete's protection, that's for your protection too. We all need to be really cool about that so that, so that nobody gets in trouble here. And the U.S. Marshals don't feel threatened, okay? We really need for that message to be pushed out there. We're allowed to talk about this. We're allowed to talk about, how unfair it is, how biased it is, how ridiculous it is. We're allowed to protest it. Let's just not make any kind of verbal threat of any kind of violence.
I agree with you. It's kind of funny. About an hour ago, two guys in shirts and ties answered the door, and just the fact they threw him in jail, and me being, a journalism network and a press network, it made me paranoid, and I scared the crap out of two guys wanting to sell me a vacuum cleaner when I answered the door with an AK.
Yeah. Right.
This has become extremely concerning to me on all levels. And, we're actually in a law point. We've been out with our reporters out at LaVoy's funeral all day and talking to people. They're having services right now, and so I just figured I'd jump in here. I'd jump in here on the midpoint, and what I was, people. I was yelling at everybody for using my chat room as the Pete Santilli chat room complaint room. I think people think because me and you talk every day that I have some control over the chat room, and I keep telling them I'm banned over there too. So what am I? So
right, and those things are really hard. I'm the only person. I haven't been following the chat room in the last couple of days. I'll pop in, give some updates in there.
Right.
But here's the thing: if you're banned, I'm the only person who can unban you, and I have no clue who is banned and who isn't. And quite honestly, I don't have time to go in and unban.
Well, yeah,
if you want to be in that chat room, make a new account and go in and be nice.
Well, actually, I did, and I did that, and your moderator figured out who I was and banned me again.
Well,
Oh well, I
mean,
don't.
Seriously, that's their chat room. That's that's their chat room.
Yeah,
and I cannot. I just don't have any control over it right now.
That's cool, and that's what I wanted everybody to know. That it's like you have better things to deal with than a YouTube chat room. My chat room, it just fills up with some of the vilest crap I ever seen. I've almost turned it off.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, I've almost turned it off today because, when we're on doing the stuff from the funeral, we get people in there just saying some of the most vile things, and it's like, really, man?
Sure.
I mean, seriously, it's just a freaking chat room. Who cares? But
yeah.
anyway.
Which is, now why they're so hard on everybody. I mean, because you know, you do get to the point where you want to turn it off and you start banning people.
Exactly.
Because at that point, it's not about freedom of speech anymore. It's about people wanting freedom to slander and demonize and vilify and be nasty. And that's
Yeah.
not what it's all about here. It's just not. And
Exactly.
you know,
I've
there you
said,
go.
yeah, I've said, we have a chat room at the station, and we're a little rough on watching that, and people go, you're impeding my freedom of speech. I said, there's a big difference between impeding your freedom of speech and taking a crap on my coffee table.
That's right. Absolutely. You know, you're not going to let somebody stand in your front yard and for very long and call you everything in the book and be hurtful. Right. For very long, you're just not going to. So.
Right. We all have a right to protect our own personal space. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I got some guy wanting to sue us because one of my chat mods hatted him, which means that they silenced them. They can still read, but they can't talk, and that has been absolutely hilarious. But anyway, okay, thanks, Deb, and I'd like to get your email so I don't have to bug you every day. That way I can kind of let you know when we got something going on.
Sure. Go ahead and send any emails, and anybody can send these emails to Bunker. It's BUNKER at thepetesantillieshow.com, and I'll get it.
All right, cool. That helps me a lot.
Okay.
All right, you have a great day, and hopefully things get better for you. This is just getting stranger, curiouser and curiouser, as Alice would say. Right.
Well, we have to remember that yesterday the judge told the prosecutor that he felt that their case against Pete Santilli was weak, as it pertained to him being a co-conspirator in the first place. He said that, and the attorney's all over that. The judge can't take that back. And then, we have to also remember that out of 4.5 years, they went back and cherry-picked and a whole 4.5 years worth of words, not actions, okay?
Right.
His words. And they're trying to use that to say that he's a violent person, even though he's never acted out violently toward anybody. He's told people he's going to punch them in the face if they get near him. He has told them he would defend himself if they got near him. He's told law enforcement, which is in the state of Ohio, you are allowed to legally protect yourself, defend yourself if you feel threatened by a police officer. So that's why, excuse me, Ohio is a stand your ground state, where Pete made a lot of these comments that they threw out there yesterday, So,
right. Yeah.
And then they said something. Then they said something about him saying that he had his guns buried and that he didn't turn them in when some douchebag put out a false restraining order against him.
Again.
So and Pete says, again, it's all words. Nobody's ever proven that he did anything, and they're using his words. What I'm telling everybody, and the type of media that we're all in, do you really want this to stand? Whether you like Pete Santilli or not. If you don't like Pete Santilli, well, that's all well and good. But you're all activists. Even if you're behind your keyboard, you're speaking out, you're talking out against the overreach of this government, especially when it comes to the Second Amendment and First Amendment. People are all over that. If we weren't allowed to talk about that anymore, and we're not allowed to express our opinion, then we're not going to. There's not going to be any such thing as alternative media anymore. So before you come out and you speak out, and you're happy about what happened to Pete Santilli, and you say he deserved it because you don't like him, think about why they're doing this to him. And is there something in your archive, out of your many thousands of words, that you said that they can hold you accountable for just because they don't like you?
Oh, yeah. Actually, I had somebody, and this is the reason, I used to do shows on Sunday, and I had somebody grab one of my archives that was, and I can do the same thing if I wanted to devote the energy, but took one of my archives and took something, the whole show. They grabbed very specific words and put them together to make it, to actually put out something that I never said.
Sure.
You know, and
absolutely.
And you know, and there are so many tools out there, audio tools, video tools. Just the common anybody that wants to learn how to do it can use that kind of stuff. You know, I get
and let me remind everybody, because you guys aren't here, and in the courtroom, what they did. They took an episode. They took when Pete was talking about, you know, if federal agents came to my door in the middle of the night and they busted in my door, you know, and he said that he would blow their balls off, right? The whole context of it would be we had guests, we had a woman on the show, and she had just been SWAT teamed the week before by federal agents who drug her children out of bed at gunpoint, small children, right? They held guns on them just because a neighbor had given them a tip saying that they were drug dealers, and guess what? They were not. There were no drugs in the house, but they took their money out of their safe and kept their money. I mean, and so he was reacting to that. That's what he was talking about. Hey, look, if you come in my house in the middle of the night, right, it was all about the no-knock warrants and what the police state is doing. So none of us are going to be allowed to talk about that anymore. We're not going to be allowed to say we would defend ourselves from an unknown intruder, right? So he was speaking out against that, and that's what they're using against him.
Yeah, well, you know, that just reminds me of a story that I'm glad I live in the state I live in and the county I live in, and I have a great sheriff. I had a Mexican guy at my back door. He had tromped around the whole house. At 3 a.m, I got up to get something. He was at the back door trying to break in, and I went to the door with a firearm, and I got him back. And then I called 911 and called the sheriff, and I said, I got this guy trying to break in the back door, and he doesn't seem to want to go away. And he says, do what you can do. We're busy on another call. Do what you can do to get him to go away. If he won't go away, call the morgue.
See, yeah.
That's exactly what he told me.
I don't know whether you guys are reporting this. This is on Kanab, Utah, right, where LaVoy Seneca's funeral is happening. The sheriff called all the local hotels and said, if any federal agents book a room in this hotel, I want you to tell me. So he's surveilling the FBI, and it's a great thing.
Oh, yes, it is. Yeah, actually, we reported that earlier. I think we did. I've been watching Dallas's reporting as he goes through the day. Plus, we have our own reporters out there. I sent somebody brand new to this as our camera person. Almost got herself in trouble by getting out of the press area.
Mm-hmm.
And things got a little weird. And then she got too close to the satellite truck, and it sucked the battery right out. It nulled her phone battery. And yep. So anyway, folks, it's YouTube.com, Weaponized Talk Radio. We'll be reporting from Nub all day as things happen. The horse procession's getting ready to go down here. Not too long, not too far out. We're just not staying live stream all day because, I mean, it's like a fluid situation, and, you know, there's things that are disrespectful for us to film. So anyway, continue, Deb.
Yeah. Okay. Listen, thanks a lot, Nighthawk, and I'll touch.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks a lot, Deb. You have a great day. Or the best day you can, anyway. All right, good night.